All right, guys, we're reading the end of Mark 11. And they came again to Jerusalem, and as he was walking in the temple, Jesus, the chief priests and the scribes and the elders came to him, and they said to him, "By what authority are you doing these things? Or who gave you the authority to do them?" Jesus said to them, "I will ask you one question. Answer me, and I will tell you by what authority I do these things. Was the baptism of John from heaven or from man? Answer me." And they discussed it with one another, saying, "If we say from heaven, he will say, 'Why then did you not believe him?' But shall we say from man?" They were afraid of the people, for they all held that John really was a prophet. So they answered Jesus, "We do not know." And Jesus said to them, "Neither will I tell you by what authority I do these things." Oh, Jesus, just being a brat with the Pharisees again. Why did he respond this way? The Pharisees are hypocrites. These guys use whatever aspect of the law and religion and control and influence they have to just make themselves look right, to get what they want. They're not actually sided with the truth. They are sided with their agenda. They're sided with control. And Jesus is freer than these guys because he's actually walking in freedom, in truth. He's on the side of the Lord. He's on God's side. And so they're just trying to find whatever legal loopholes they can find to condemn Jesus, to expose him for the fraud he is, to punish him, right? Their pride is bruised, their rules are all being broken, their ego, they want to crush this guy. And so Jesus, through logic, his version of logic, but still, it's very much a form of logic, is like, "Hey, I'll answer your question, I'll tell you exactly what you're asking me, but first," and through their rules, their own loopholes and systems, he asks, what did he ask? Was the baptism of John from heaven or from man? This is a very logical question. Where is it from? Heaven or man? Like, was it real or was it not? And they're like, "Oh," because of their twisted, double-minded, manipulative value system, they're trapped. They can't answer either, because if it was from God, they're guilty. If it's from man, the people would kill them. Or if they said it was from man, then the people would kill him because they all believed he was a prophet. So their best response in their own form of logic was, "We do not know." So Jesus bested them at their own game by asking them logically, how do you discern, how do you judge this scenario that's very public and everyone has already made up their mind about this? What do you say about it? And they didn't want to come out. And so he responds with, "Then I'm not going to answer your question." And they had to let him go. Why? Because they failed at their own game. They were playing by a set of rules, and he bested them. They're trying to trap and trick God, and God played according to their own parameters, and they failed. They lost. You guys, there are times where people come against you with their logic, their rules, their manipulation and control, and they're trying to get you to act or respond or fail at whatever. And instead of getting offended or scared or intimidated or running away or whatever, what if you simply responded in wisdom, in truth? And, it could be like, "Well, how do we do that? I don't even know if I'm being wise. I don't know if I have access to wisdom." Here's the deal. If you are operating according to the Spirit of truth, you don't have to play by their rules. And the reality is Jesus didn't have to. And what he was doing in this moment was demonstrating to them that, listen, even according to your rules, you guys are failing. You're wrong. You don't know what you're doing. It was kind of this overall point, but he was never going to answer their question while they were holding on to their broken system. So it was kind of a test, and they failed. And I bet you that if they had come at him humbly and asked this question, he wouldn't have asked them a question back. He would have just told them. But because of the hardness of their hearts and because of their false agenda, he was never going to answer them in the first place. So through their own twisted, manipulative system, he's like, "Hey, first of all, answer this and I'll answer you." And they can't. He's like, "No, then I'm not going to answer you." Boundaries, love it. So you guys, when you're coming up against things like that are coming at you, especially in relationships with people, understand from the get-go that you are not under their rules. You don't have to play by their rules. You can if you want, and the Spirit of God will confound them. But let's say you can't find the wisdom. Let's say you're lost or intimidated or whatever. The reality is you don't have to play by other people's rules. When you're living according to the truth and walking with the Spirit of God, other people's demands and expectations have no merit on you. They don't get to require stuff of you anymore. And that's not a rebellious thing, it's a legitimate freedom thing. And when you're moving in compassion and love, you get to respond from a powerful place. You're no longer moving from need or from fear or reaction, and you're moving from a place of intention and purpose because love has possessed you. You guys, be mindful of the rules you're playing because you were designed to be free.